Doctor Who Underworld's the 22nd story of the Fourth Doctor is written by Bob Baker and Dave Martin and starring Tom Baker, Louise Jameson and John Leeson. In order to save money on production costs, the story was filmed entirely in studio in October 1977. The story was recorded using the colour separation overlay technique. This approach involves recording the actors against a blue screen and then superimposing them on models of the sets. Underworld grabbed many elements and parallels from Greek mythology. Same thing in later story The Horns of Nimon. In particular, the story draws on the tale of Jason and his crew. There's great opening in space. While Leela is operating the TARDIS console, the time rotor stops. The Doctor came in. Clearly he was painting. They realise they're in the edge of cosmos. K9 gives the Doctor a heads up that there's a spacecraft nearby, so the TARDIS arrived there. The crew heard the noise. They suspect that it's the technology of the gods, well, Time Lords. The Doctor, Leela and K9 got out. Leela uses a shield gun to blast the door down, which is pretty effective.
Blast malfunction.
Crazy thing is, whenever anyone gets aggressive, there's a device that uses them to calm down like they've never been aggressive, and they're like, thank you. So Captain Jackson, Herrick, Orphe and Tala were on mission to find the missing ship. The P7E, which disappeared en route to Minos 2 while carrying the genetic race banks of the entire species. Plus they rejuvenate few times apparently. A scene where Tala regenerated and made herself younger. That was because the actress, Imogen Bigford Smith, was allergic to prosthetics that she had on her face. So that's why it was written that way. R1C escapes the nebula, but a signal from P7E is still coming from the inside, and Jackson orders the ship to go back in. K9 helped the ship, surviving the journey. There was a cliffhanger where pieces of rock glow, but constantly fall onto the spacecraft. Herrick says the cannon's disintegrating.
Oh, use the cannons disintegrating!
But R1C managed to escape and found a planet that's been creating for centuries, so the Doctor believes this could be the P7E. With no fuel left, the R1C landed there, heading for the core, so under the planet you get cave people in the tunnel. So Jackson and his crew decided to look around the planet. The Doctor and Leela did as well. The Doctor explained to Edith that his people's past and learns about the legends of the sky gods and the seers who rule the society on behalf of the Oracle. And it's so funny when Herrick knocked out Officer Klimt and used the communicator and said, Officer Klimt retired suddenly. And Rask was obviously not happy about it. And suddenly the cave gets gassed, and so does the airlock where the Doctor, Leela and Edith are.
A trap. A trap to kill me.
Doctor?
Originally they were going to get Leela to scream, but Louise Jameson would not do it because she felt it was out of character for Leela, which I'm glad she refused. So the Doctor goes outside to try and stop the gas, but he was unconscious all of a sudden. I like the way he spins the scarf like that. Tom Baker is fantastic as the Fourth Doctor, always fun to watch. I love Louise Jameson as Leela, brilliant companion. I really love K9. I think John Leeson does a brilliant job voicing him. James Maxwell plays Jackson, who's in command of the R1C, the mission to recover the Minyan race banks from the P7E. He's fantastic. Many of the names and events in Underworld were derived from the myth of Jason and his crew, as Jackson is an analogue to Jason, a parallel which the Doctor explicitly acknowledges in the story's last scene. Norman Tipton plays Edas, a Trog who helps the Doctor and Jackson to find Minyan race banks. He's likeable. Alan Lake plays Herrick, a member of the R1C. I really like him. He's fun to watch. Herrick is an analogue of a Greek hero, Hercules. Imogen Bigford Smith plays Tala, who works on the R1C for Jackson. She's brilliant. Tala is an analogue of the Greek heroine, Agalanta, who is one of the Agronauts in some versions of the myth. Christine Pollan voiced Oracle, the computer of the P7E that ruled over the Minyan races. Great villain. Jonathan Youth plays Orphe, which I can't remember how to pronounce his name as I've only seen that story twice. But I do hope I pronounced it correctly. An analogue of the Greek hero Orpheus, who was one of Jackson's crew. His use of the pacification gun alludes to Orpheus' ability to calm wild beasts with his music. James Marcus and Godfrey James plays Rask and Tarn, gods on the planet. Jimmy Gardner and Stacey Tendeder plays Idman and Naya, the Trog race. Jane Eel plays God Klimt, a god on the planet. Frank Jarvis and Richard Shaw plays Anka and Laka, the Seer, important members of the society that developed on the P7E planet. There's great casting, there's some of the great ideas in there. Dudley Simpson always does a fantastic music scores, so the gas stopped and the Doctor woke up. K9 was sent to find Jackson while the Doctor, Leela and Edith planned to stop the sacrifice. There's some great battle scenes where Leela takes down the guards and rescue the Trogs. As Herrick holds Sears off, he gets stunned, then gets taken in for questioning and being tortured. They wouldn't believe his answers. Minecart scene gives me a bit of Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom vibes, which I like. So in the mine, Idman tripped over and the cart was about to fall off the edge, which I would hate if it happened to me. So Doctor and Leela hanged on the edge and got help to climb over. Sears decided to set Herrick free and letting him have the race bank cylinders. So the Doctor met Orkle, knowing it as a damaged computer program to protect the race banks at all costs.
Well, yes, here you are, yes, but nowhere else. You're just another machine with megalomania.
Therefore, the cylinders given to Jackson must have been fakes. He then steals the real ones. As Jackson was about to take off, K9 gave him heads up that 2 cylinders as fusion grenades capable of destroying a small planet. The Doctor takes the grenades back into the tunnels where he met up with Rask. So he gives the grenades instead. The Doctor, Leela and Idis helps the Trog race to get on the ship to escape. Jackson wanted them off. With there being too many people, there's too much weight. So the Doctor convinced him to lift off, and he did. So the planet exploded. As the Doctor says goodbye, he calls Jackson Jason.
Aren't you coming with us? I mean, us too. No time. I'm very busy. Goodbye, Jason. Goodbye.
Boy!
Leela was confused and the Doctor explains the legend of the Argonauts. The connection is highlighted at the end of the episode with the Doctor, like Jackson, and his journey to Jason and his quest for the Golden Fleece. So the Doctor goes back to painting, and I think the story has some great ideas in there. What did you think of Underworld? Feel free to let me know in the comments down below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.